up with evidence from newspapers and so on, that when white people were scavenging, it was called scavenging, survival, it was kind of a survival narrative. But when black people were scavenging, it was called looting, and it was a criminal narrative. And she's very interested in how distinctions like that get made, and how certain populations of people end up being criminalized, which is to say, deserving of punishment. And her central thesis is that whenever we talk about law-abiding citizens or good citizens or so on, somewhere, sometime, there is always some group of people being criminalized as the kind of necessary other to that, as a way of saying law-abiding citizen means you are not like these people. And those people might not necessarily have done anything wrong, but they are kind of the necessary sacrificial lamb for the legal societal order that emerges. And she has some really, really fascinating discussions of the way that the philosophy of human rights really sanctions and legitimizes state-based violence. So that's really, really cool. And all of these ideas are going to be informing an upcoming, maybe 1 or 2 part video that I'm making on refugees and human rights and philosophy of human rights and how that works. So it is quite a tricky book, it is quite nuanced and complicated, but if you are interested in, again, this kind of making visible of invisible assumptions, then this would really be a great one to pick up. Before I tell you about my final book of the month, I owe a big thank you to this week's sponsor, The Great Courses Plus. If you've never heard of them, they are a website where you can subscribe and you can watch educational videos by top lecturers from top universities all around the world. They've got over 7,000 videos in their library. You could learn about biology, maths, chemistry, how to take a photograph, how to cook. They've got people on there who aren't just lecturers from universities, but people from National Geographic and the Culinary Institute of America. They've got a really good series on formal logic, which I know is something that a lot of my fans have been asking me to make a video on, and I've been using that series to brush up on my first order predicate logic. Normally subscriptions start at around $14.99 a month, but for my viewers, if you use the special link thegreatcoursesplus.com/philosophytube, your first month of learning is completely free. You could learn so much in that time. So please visit thegreatcoursesplus.com/philosophytube, link in the description, to start your free trial today. And the last book I'm going to talk about is Slavoj Žižek's Violence. There's a type of pufferfish called fugu fish, which is apparently very delicious, but most of it is incredibly poisonous. And in order to prepare and eat fugu fish, you have to undergo extensive training so that you know how to properly dissect and cook it. And that, I think, is a little bit what this book is like. There are tiny little bits of it where I'm like, oh, that's really interesting, that's a good thought, particularly the stuff about making invisible ideological assumptions visible again. But it's surrounded by a lot of stuff that, if you don't know how to dissect and prepare and interpret and in some cases actively dismiss it, it might mess you up a little bit. So there's more than a few instances in here of casual racism. There's more than a few instances, I think, of Žižek contradicting himself from chapter to chapter. There's a few instances where he's talking about a real-world event but doesn't seem to me to have spoken to any of the people who are really involved with it. And the other thing is that a lot of the bits that are good, not all of them, but a lot of them have been said before and have been said better. So rather than recommend this book, here is a list of things that you could and probably should read either first or instead. I'll put the full list in the description, so don't worry. I recognise there's a lot of stuff there, and I definitely don't want to come across as kind of, oh, nobody could understand this until they've read these 9 million really difficult to find texts. The point I'm trying to get across is that I don't really recommend this book, is basically what I'm saying, and that you could do better by reading any or all of those other things instead. Those are all the books I have to talk about this month. Thank you so much to the fans who sent them to me. I have an Amazon wishlist of books, and it's always so amazing when people send me stuff off that. It's like a little birthday present, but when it's not even my birthday, so thank you so much. If you ever want to send me stuff to help me research the show, then I'll put a link to that wishlist below as well. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next week for something. I haven't planned out what yet. It might be a video on white supremacist propaganda, which is gonna make my comments section a bit of a nightmare for a while, but that's an important video and it needs to be made. So I will see you for that. Bye!